Merci beaucoup de ces interventions. Et les congressistes qui sont réunis ici se rendent compte tout de suite que nous mettons l'agriculteur au cœur de notre métier et au cœur de notre travail. Et je pense que c'est l'idée principale qui doit nous guider sur toutes nos actions et tous les projets qu'on doit mener. Alors, au-delà de l'agriculteur proprement dit, il y a le monde de la plasticulture et je voudrais vous faire un petit passage rapide sur ce monde-là. Once again, the CIPA is very happy to welcome you here in France. It is for us an opportunity for exchange, for sharing and concern about plastic on agriculture. All of us are expert about plasticulture, and we still have the need to stay vigilant about what's happening in the plasticulture domain. We will need more and more plastic in the future, which is good for us. But the social pressure, mainly on environmental, will be worldwide more and more important, and in any case, we will not escape from our responsibility. This is why we must be aware of it and develop our vision to face this challenge, this tremendous challenge, as you will see. We will focus today, this morning for my intervention, we will focus on film, the far most important volume put on the market in the agriculture. The menu for today is to draft a global, worldwide overview on plasticulture for today and for tomorrow, in terms of development, volume, main challenges for 2030. My own and personal challenge is to convince you, as plasticultor, that you are responsible and therefore you have a role to play in the movie. Bad luck by the public and the global environment pressure. Poorly known, because plasticulture didn't pay too much attention on the matter and have left others to talk about plastic in agriculture in unfavorable terms. As plasticultors, we have to promote our product and sometimes to defend it. This is one of the objectives of the CIPA, to make known as much as possible the product so important for farmers and growers. They are the heart of our activity, for agricultures and for ourselves, since we are making a living out of it. CIPA and other associations are dedicated to change the negative image of a revolutionary product so necessary today for agriculture and the world feeding. Plastic is fantastic, as you said before. To make it short, with plastic, a little bit of water and sun, we can produce almost everywhere. As expert, you already know that. But how many times in your professional life have you been able to explain about all the benefit we get from plastic in agriculture? We can be proud of our product as farmers and growers, and farmers and growers can be proud too. And we need to educate, to explain, to inform about it. I'm going to show you some numbers about plasticulture. And please, don't take those numbers as accounting numbers. It's just a vision and a perspective, just to fix the ideas about what is going to be the world with plastic in 2030. But at least we will need to imagine the way to cope and to face those tremendous challenges, as I say. There is no reliable tool and reliable statistic. My objective is then to give you a forecast only on trends and education and on what our agricultural plastic world will be. My information comes from different marketing analysis made by well-known organisms, Accurate, Allied Market, Market, and by my own interpretation from exchanges and information obtained from the Plasticulture magazine and from exchange I had with different countries represented here. We are talking only about general statement here. Focus on film, the most important part and the easiest to estimate. In those figures has to be added other products as twine, net, and so on, but the overall volume in regard of the film is very, very small. The volume is expected to grow by 50% in the next 10-15 years. What are the driven demands? Population growth, the alimentary independency and environmental concern for all the countries, and also the change in characteristic, mainly in the thickness on mulching, for instance. When we see those numbers, we just can't be afraid. How are we going to cope with such big increase in terms of polymers, in terms of production capacity needs? And in a plasticulture world, we are a small world. If we imagine the need in packaging, for instance, it's just tremendous at the scale of the planet. So, plus 50% within 10-15 years. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Greenhouses represent half of it. Caution, we are talking here in tons, not in surface. In surface, of course, the ratio will be different for instance, the mulching. Mulching represents 1/3 in terms of weight, and the silage around 20%. The volume is supposed to increase up to 9.5 million tons in the next 15 years. Asia, China will be the most contributing company for this increase. In greenhouses, the increase in thickness, and I'm sure that our friend Professor Shangron will explain us what are the challenges in China in terms of thickness for the mulching, and the big also increase expected in India, where the size of the market today in India, in comparison with the size of the population and the size of the country, the size of the plastic is very low. So we can expect a very big increase in India. In Europe, the increase will be made mainly in the eastern country. In South America, also South America is a big area for the growth of the plastic, since the need will be tremendous in to permit the independence in alimentary production for instance in Brazil. So you can see that the plasticulture planet is a place to make business, but it's certainly a place to be today, to allow the increase in the food production, and to allow the agriculture to provide the need of the new population coming on. After usage, 6 million tons of plastic become 11 million tons of used plastic. This plastic waste is due to the contamination in soil, sand, mineral, organic, water, and so on. So when we talk about waste management in plastic in agriculture, we need to talk about product waste contamination, because this is where is a problem. The contamination is too high today. So we have to consider the way to fix the problem and to make our product cleaner after the deposit of them. When you come up to a 9.5 billion ton of consumption per year in 2013. You are talking about 17 million of tons of waste. Okay, if we have to take into account those 17 million of tons, can we afford to leave things as such? I don't think so, and I'm sure that you share that idea too. So, in those 17 million of tons, 8 million of tons come from the contamination. In France, for instance, we are spending 2 million euros for the collection of mulching. By the way, we are collecting 95 or 98% of the used mulching in France. And 60% of the expense is made on the contamination only. So if we want to reduce the cost, we need to reduce the contamination. And this is not a problem specific to France. It's a problem for everybody and every country. Products are not equal in terms of contamination. As a matter of fact, mulching are the champion. It is not rare to have a 75 or 90% contamination rate with the mulching. And we can remove the film out of the film. When we can remove the film out of the field, which is not always the case. Most often, as in China, for instance, but in other parts of the world, the film thickness is too low, about 8, 9 micron. But then we cannot remove the film from the film. We remove only part of it. And the plastic we left on the soil. This is a damage for the environment. So we have to do something. The mulching situation is critical and responsible of most of the negative externalities we are facing up with the plastic in agriculture. Talking about used plastic, the mulching will represent not 30%, but 60% of the market of the used plastic. So this is the first concern for our plastic world. To reduce the negative externality of mulching, there are not too many things to do. So thanks to IPRO for this afternoon, for the specific workshop about plasticulture and the circular economy. We have technically many things to do, and rather easy to do, as a matter of fact. Yes, it costs. The cost can be important, but it's not a matter of cost. It's first a matter of responsibility. It's first a matter of willing. Do we want to do it or not? Okay, so everyone in the plastic world, in every country, we have to think about that question. Do we have a problem with plastic? The answer will say, yes, we are. Are we ready to do something? Or at least to create favorable conditions to do something about it? So the answer must be yes. The lack of collecting scheme and waste management system cause tremendous damage on the environment. And this is the reality today, not only in Europe, but everywhere in the world. I mean, we know that we have specific areas with specific damage due to the plastic in agriculture. There are very few places really safe on the matter in the world. Agri-waste management is a priority for every country for the next decade. A simple and coherent message about plasticulture. All actors involved, farmers, growers, distributors, converters, raw material suppliers, researchers, agrees on those type of message. But we can go further. We can go further. I have to match my speech with a slide. Sorry. So a simple message. And we want to share with you this message. And we want you to be the owner of this message in order to ensure the dissemination of this message in your plasticulture world, in your own country. Please do it. This is the same problem everywhere. Simple message, coherent message, message to be shared by everyone, and not only the expert, but the others, as we say, the public authorities, as we say, the student, and so on and so forth. A simple and coherent message. We can go further. We must consider the end of life of the product. This is new. I mean, the plastic in agriculture is about 60 years old. I mean, in France, we consider the end of life of the product only for 15 years, no more than that. And we have established a national scheme, collecting scheme only for 9 years. It's brand new. I mean, for distributors deeply involved in the national collecting scheme, it's a new consideration. It's a service to their own customers, but it is new. I mean, we need to consider the end of life of the product when we work about the new product, about the innovation, when we work about the usage of the plastic, and of course to create favorable conditions to have those products to be removed from the field, to be transported, and to be treated mainly with recycling, material recycling, because the plastic is a resource. The plastic is not a waste. The plastic is not a garbage. It's just a resource. So it depends on us, on our willing to treat this plastic in a proper way. So the plastic deserves attention from our part. After all of us are making, as I said before, a living out of it. We must care about this end of life. What's happened if tomorrow the public authorities, the public pressure will tell us, don't use plastic anymore? What's happened? About 60% of the production will be in danger. I mean, a lot of jobs will be lost, and so on and so forth. And the farmers will not be able to produce anymore. So we need to take care about this end of life. And we need to reduce the impact on the environment. So the plastic is good. The plastic is good as far as we take care about it, from the beginning to the end of it. Okay? So we need plastic, and we need to consider the end of life. And I would like to put to head for today, for this Congress, the commitment of the plasticulture community to make it even better than it is today. And I know that we can depend on you to rely this message all over the world. So, with the CIPA, APE Europe, the CPA, the CEPLA in Spain, we are dedicated to increase the awareness of the plasticulture community on the necessity for more sustainable management of agri-plastic. It is important that any company or research center make a formal and public statement for it. This is a statement for Dow. Dow is not talking only about agriculture, he's talking about all plastic and mainly packaging. But please, make public your involvement, make public your policy, make public your strategy, make everybody aware that you are concerned about the plastic you put on the market, and you are concerned about the end of life, and you act to do something on it. You know, when we discuss about environment, and we say, well, we should consider this and that and so on and so forth. We can have thousands of people around the table. Everybody will agree on it. Then we talk about action. Who does what? That's not me, but the others. So, feel responsible. Don't transfer your responsibility to the other. Don't transfer the responsibility to the public authorities and the community. So consider what you can do yourself. Someone someday say, consider what you can do for your country. And I said, well, what can you do yourself for your product? Okay? Thank you for to think about it. Don't be shy. Get involved. Go out and speak about it. So, welcome here. As you can see, we are going to develop a lot of terms and a lot of topic about plastic in agriculture. And we depend on you to make this Congress very, very positive and maybe a new start for the plastic culture in the world. Thank you very much.